I just bought one of the best Lamborghinis Lamborghini have ever made. The Lamborghini SVJ. Oh my God.
Oh, the gear changes.
This car is no joke. 770 horsepower of raw, naturally aspirated Lamborghini V12. No turbos, no electric motor, just pure V12 carnage. Lamborghini only made just over 1,800 of the SVJ, which means the price for these are skyrocketing. But when one's involved in an accident, it means we get the chance to get one at a bargain. Here we are at Copart to collect the most expensive car I've ever bought, and I've got the right jacket for it. We're about to see it now because we've only ever seen it in photos. And guess what? It's my birthday. If there's one place to get a crash damaged car like this, of course, it's Copart. I took a risk on their auction and was the winning bidder of this Lamborghini SVJ. And unlike the Revuelto, let's hope this risk pays off. Oh, look! But I do have a good feeling about this one. I don't even know what to think. Oh my days.
Look at the size of it.
Oh my days, it's a beast. Wow. Oh, oil coolers absolutely crumpled at the back.
That'll be cheap.
Yeah.
Right, ages to get it started.
Oh no. That's the thing. This car was sold as a non-runner. I'm just hoping the engine hasn't seized because it's starved of oil. God, it feels like a spaceship in here. I've never sat in one. Literally never sat in one. But the good news is, none of the airbags have deployed. Yet again, as we found on my Gallardo, these crash sensors, they have been hit definitely because it's come off, but no airbags have gone off. Great for people like me, not great for the person who crashed.
What do you have to do to set the airbag off? Like, look at this car, it's a mess.
Yeah. I think you've got to try harder.
What do you think?
It's alright this, isn't it?
Is this one going to you?
I can fit in it.
Yeah.
And some of you may have noticed that this is not only an SVJ, it's an SVJ Roadster. The roof comes off this one, which makes it even more rare. Thanks for this one, Copart. I think we've just got to fix it now. And remember, it's not just Lamborghinis Copart auction off, they do loads of different cars. And you can even sell your car through them as well. So if you wanted to become a member at Copart and start bidding at the auctions, I've popped a link in the description for it. Now this is better than the Revuelto. It's got to be.
Do you think this is going to be better than the Revuelto?
This has got to be better because it's just everything that was bad with the Revuelto, this don't have. It looks better than the Revuelto, in my opinion.
I think that's in my opinion as well.
I think we made the right choice. Get rid of the Revuelto, which is plummeting in value, buy an SVJ, which is going up, only up in value. And on top of that, it is the Roadster. 900 coupes.
1,700 altogether.
800 Roadsters.
But this is a one of one.
Why?
Because nobody else has got a spongy steering wheel.
Yeah. So, it's been a while since we picked this car up and something's happened to the wheel. Whoa. Oh, that is disgusting. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty disgusting. But I also noticed something else at the back. It looks like there might have been a fire, and it could have something to do with the oil cooler that looks like it's exploded at the back. Oh! But luckily, the PPF that's on the carbon fibre has actually saved that part of the diffuser. How's PPF protected flames? Let's get the SVJ inside to inspect it further.
SVJ.
SVJ. SVJ. From the outside, I don't think the damage looks too bad, and we've definitely repaired worse. But my main concern, of course, is that engine. If that oil cooler exploded at the back and the engine lost all of its oil, but the car kept running, it could have caused some serious damage to the engine. Alongside that, we need to be 100% sure how far the damage has gone. With that back left wheel being so far in the arch, to the moon, it could have caused some big damage behind it. Goal number 1, see if this thing runs. This isn't really a one-man job, is it? Yeah, there's no way you can... Do you know if you're on your own and you need to add oil, what are you going to do? Oh. Whoa. Has it got any oil in it? At all? Oh. Okay, there's absolutely none in it. These are going to be low anyway because it's dry sump. But there should at least be a drop on that. Okay. I don't want to risk starting this car without any oil in it. And I suspect there's no oil in it because of that oil cooler. So this wheel, to get these wheels off, they're centre lock wheels, and we need a tool. And the tool isn't in the car. So we can't actually get this wheel. We can't get this wheel off. There's only one guy I know who's got one of these. Maybe we could borrow it. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
I wonder if you can help me on this SVJ now.
Okay.
I need to get my wheels off and I don't have the wheel getter off at all. We thought you might have one.
Yeah, I will have, no problem.
Can I borrow it?
£50 for the day.
So Mark was kindly going to lend us his wheel removal tool. So I sent my dad over to his to go and get it. Whilst I stayed with the SVJ and started to strip apart what I could of the damaged parts.
This side, those bolts are perished. So they're not doing anything.
Starting off with the rear end first. My goal was to try and access the rear oil cooler and then potentially make something to bridge the oil feed pipe and the oil return pipe together, bypassing the cooler. That way we can add oil and potentially start the car. But whilst we was taking stuff apart, I noticed something. Oh yeah. Finally! There's not one in this lot here. So somebody is definitely had an exhaust on it, and somebody is just thrown it together. Like, there's stuff just not plugged in all over. Look, rear camera, not plugged in. Rear light, not plugged in. What's all this? Not plugged in.
Look at the marking from the old bolt and then...
Oh my god, yeah, these ain't the right bolts. These are not the right bolts. Yeah, look, you can see the circles. Yeah, that's quite worrying. Hopefully they've only messed with the back. Oh! Exhaust temperature sensors. Not plugged in. It looks like someone's been here before. And I think I've got a good idea of what's happened. When the car got wrote off and before it got sent to auction, there's potential that this SVJ had an aftermarket exhaust on it, which could have been pretty expensive and maybe not covered under the insurance. So it looks like someone has taken that off in a rush and put the standard exhaust back on. But in doing so, they've left out the lambda sensors for the exhaust and damaged some parts doing so, and put the wrong bolts in some wrong holes, which is kind of worrying. What else have they missed out? Yeah, boy! Look at that.
How much is one of those?
I'm not sure, haven't checked yet. But a lot of this is the same as a regular Aventador. So you've got the Aventador S, the SV and the SVJ. And if it's the same as an Aventador, we know it's not as expensive as the SVJ stuff. It's like when you buy a 911 Porsche, if you have a GT3 or GT3 RS and it's only specific for them, you know you're getting charged a fortune. But this is just off a regular Aventador.
I am worried about him buying one. Because he's annihilated the price on the Revuelto. I don't want him to do it to this SVJ. Hi, where would the spare wheel nut be on a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ?
Hey there. So the Aventador SVJ actually doesn't have a spare wheel or a designated place for one, since it's all about maximizing performance and minimizing weight. Instead, it relies on a tire repair kit and a jack. So no secret compartment for spare wheel nuts.
I'm driving an hour here.
That sounds like an exciting drive.
So whilst those two tried to figure out where the wheel nut was, I started removing the oil cooler and all the brackets which are damaged around it. Oil feed and an oil return has left the chat because that's down there. So let's get the oil feed off and then we should have that oil cooler off, finally. And then we found exactly where all the oil went. It looks like the oil return pipe completely broke off the bottom of the oil cooler. Hopefully when the car was turned off. But this oil cooler has definitely seen better days. And now that it's off, we can clearly see the oil feed pipe and the oil return pipe at the bottom. And at that point, Mark had finished winding my dad up.
Only joking.
Here is second-hand oil cooler off eBay that I bought, £700, which I think is not too bad. I'm going to put this on. We're not going to prop it on properly just yet because all this quarter's got to come off. We've got to clean it all up. We just want to see if this runs right now. On goes the brand new second-hand oil cooler. All we're going to connect up is the oil feed pipe and the oil return because all the brackets which hold the cooler definitely need to be replaced. Let's nip that up and that should be good enough to hold some oil. We've got oil cooler on and I've just had a thought as well. There might actually be coolant in it because although it's had a front end smash, I can't see many coolers at the front. Yeah, there is coolant in it. So it's still got coolant. This thing is 100% going to need a service. It needs a right good going after because this looks like it's been almost dayled. It's just worrying because someone's put this together and it weren't us and it weren't Lamborghini either. 5W30 to go in. The car is going to run terribly because there's things unplugged which should be plugged in. The point is, if this car runs, this is a massive, massive bonus. Let's put some oil in it to make sure. Put a jumper pack on, see if we can get it going.
He went outside and put on Google saying, where's the key for the SVJ? And the AI woman told him that the SVJ doesn't come with the key for the wheels because it's weight saving.
Oh, so we had that like in a cupboard?
Yeah, we had this in a special toolkit.
But when you buy an SVJ, it doesn't come with one?
No.
No way.
Because it's weight saving, you see. There's more weight in the car if you got one of
No,
these.
sure, no.
Yeah, honestly, he did.
So it doesn't come with a tool to get the wheel off? You're joking?
Do you know how much that tool is?
No, how much?
£208.
Second hand?
Yeah.
Second hand.
Yeah. £324 plus VAT for a new tool. Right, we're going to add a bit of oil, but not loads, because you meant to check these when they're hot, aren't they? At the minute, there's nothing in there.
No oil in the engine?
Well, nothing in the dry sump.
Well, I'll put all that in then.
If this starts in this condition, instantly it's better than the Revuelto. The whole Revuelto had to be put together for it to start. Right, there is a pyro fuse, but no airbags have gone, so it shouldn't have really popped. We ended up putting the jumper pack to the correct jumper locations at the back of the car, just to avoid doing any damage to the battery.
Boost start 7.
So, oh, it's done 23,000 miles, not 30. And hopefully now it's got power, it might start.
That is disgusting.
Oh, this is sick. Look at all this, it lights up. Oh. The Revuelto didn't do that. We've got ignition. Who's there? Are we going to do it? Here we go. It's in gear 1. And when I press the start button, nothing happened. Low battery, please charge.
Shall I want to boost it?
I'm standing back.
What's the boost do?
That in a minute, you ready?
Go on. Yeah? Go! But still, nothing. Just to make sure that the pyro fuse was good, we went back over to the front of the car to test it. Usually the fuse blows when the airbags deploy, cutting the power going to the starter motor. But on this one, it was still good. It's good. Pyro fuse is good. But the battery is really, really small for a car to crank over 12 cylinders. It's a really small battery. This battery was quite small and it was low on power. So as well as the jumper pack being on the back, I decided to put another jumper pack on the actual battery as well to see if that would help it start. Here we go. Oh, it's struggling. But still, nothing. Dead. I don't think it's got enough charge. Oh, I remember on Aventadors though, when you press them, it takes a while for them to go, woo, doesn't it? You press it.
Not an hour.
No. So no matter what we did with the battery, nothing started this car. So maybe it was something else. As soon as you let the battery dies on these, it kills something else off. And it was something under here. And there was a procedure to get it to go again. And it needed a Lamborghini tool.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Revuelto to me.
It does, yeah. I think it's this. Whatever this thing is. This thing to the right hand side of the battery is called a super capacitor. And apparently it's there basically to provide help to that small battery to start the car. It gives the battery that extra bit of power when starting the car from cold and helps it during the stop-start procedure. But apparently, if you let the battery die on these Aventadors for long enough, the supercapacitor also loses charge. And if that loses charge, then it fails to send power from that to the starter motor. But there is a way to bypass it in a temporary way, and that is to remove the cable going from the supercapacitor, which goes directly to the starter motor, and just put it directly to your 12-volt battery, which should be fine enough just to start it once. So that's what we've done. But still, after doing this, we had no luck. No, if the engine seized, then we are really perished. Which kind of worried us. Had the engine actually seized, and that's why the starter motor wasn't able to turn over the engine. So we started taking the under trays off underneath to get to the starter motor directly. This is an effectively, why I like it, is a automated manual gearbox. So it is a manual box with a single clutch, but it's an hydraulic system that changes gear for you. So technically, if we put power to this starter motor now and it's in gear, it might actually just start. So with the starter motor, first you need 12 volts going from the battery to the starter. But then you need a signal from the ignition switch to send power to the solenoid, which then makes the full connection, which spins around the motor to crank the engine. So what we're going to do here is remove the signal wire which goes to the solenoid and put our own wire in place.
Okay, so this wire is going to go on the solenoid, activate it.
We're going to slide that wire in place, and then we're going to add some crocodile clips to the wire which provides the 12 volts to the starter motor. And we're going to activate this manually. By doing this, we should be able to activate the starter motor without pressing the button in the car, and if the engine turns over, we know it's not seized.
When I flick that little black wire there, this one, onto there, everything should happen.
No, the ignition, let's see if it cranks, because if it don't crank, we're in big trouble.
Okay,
we're in big trouble. Here we go. Yes! It cranked. Engine's not seized.
Yes!
I don't know if this will work. This could completely...
I wonder if you can switch it off.
Now we know the engine turns over. I was going to put the ignition on, and then my dad... Ignition on. Was going to crank the starter motor manually.
Puts on the brake, I'll turn the starter key then.
Oh my god.
Are we ready?
And was hoping it might fire up. Oh, we used... Jump pack. The jump pack died.
We need another jump pack.
Now you can see the car's stuck in first gear. So when we're turning over the starter motor manually, it's not only turning over the engine, it's also trying to turn the wheels as well. So it's like there's just not enough power to fire up the car. We then used a higher powered jumper pack to try it. Still nothing. Is it broken? We couldn't work out why this car, one, was stuck in first gear, and two, wouldn't start up. So I got the code reader out. Oh my god, it actually reads it. But the only codes were for the rear wheel steering and for the exhaust sensors, which will have no effect on it starting. Lamborghini Aventador cannot be started while in gear, but it won't let us select neutral because, I don't know. I then called Sonny at BHP Performance, a Lamborghini specialist, to see if there was some kind of neutral override for the gearbox, but there wasn't one. We needed to figure this out ourselves. Let's reset ourselves back to 0 and we're gonna think like a Lamborghini SVJ. Sonny at BHP Performance, who's a Lamborghini expert, who's had a lot of time with these cars, is in fact a Lamborghini SVJ inside himself. So he knows how these cars work, and now I know, he's passed the knowledge on. Here's the thing. To get this car started, you not only need fuel, oil, coolant, and battery power, you also need help from the gearbox. At the minute, at the front of the car, we've got 12 volts at this AGM battery. That's good at the minute. But the car won't start because the car's actually stuck in first gear. The car's stuck in first gear because apparently if the battery goes flat and then also the supercapacitor goes flat, because the supercapacitor holds some charge to keep everything alive, then sometimes this little ECU, well, we call it a TCU because it's a transmission control unit, that falls asleep and doesn't wake back up again. So because that's fallen asleep and doesn't wake back up again, we can no longer select neutral. And we need to select neutral to be able to start the car. That allows the starter relay to click over when we press the button there. So our first point, our first goal here is we'll put the starter motor back to how we had it, and then we need to trick this transmission control unit to wake up, which we think we can do by flipping over a relay inside this box here. But let's do one step at a time, and let's first put the starter motor back together. Then we'll come to this relay and see if we can activate it. Up in the air. Okay, this is getting complicated. But effectively, what we're doing is going back to square one, putting everything back to how it was. Because our main goal now is to get this car to go into neutral, because we think that's the reason why this car won't start. When you open the door of these cars, it's meant to prime the transmission pump. The way this car changes gears is through solenoids in the transmission, and it needs 50 PSI to push the solenoids of the transmission fluid. And at the minute, we're not hearing anything. And that's because that transmission control unit is fell asleep. But we can prime the pump ourselves. All we've got to do is take this fuse box cover off. Then we can see the relay, which is for the E-gear pump. And then we're going to remove that relay, and we can figure out from that where we need to manually put the power. So on this diagram, and here we can see terminal 30 has the power all the time on this, which is this one here. And then what happens is 85 and 86 draw a current, which is 85 and 86, which goes around a coil, which works as almost like a magnet, which flicks the switch over to allow the power to go from terminal 30 and then down to terminal 87 and 87A, it says. So that and that all together should power the E-gear pump. So instead of relying on the transmission control unit to send the signal to the relay to flip the power over, we're going to do it ourselves by bridging the power out of this section and putting it into this section. And to do that, I'm going to be using a nice bit of speaker wire, and then we should hear the pump. Can you hear it? Now this pump should build up around 50 bar of pressure, and the tone of the pump should change the more pressure it builds up. But this pump was just wearing the same regardless of how long we held the power to it. Taking its time, isn't it? No. You think it would have primed up by then?
Unless it is primed up.
Well, we could try it now, couldn't we? See if it goes into neutral.
I'll pop the relay back in, because it might have woken that up now. Just doing that.
Is that the E-gear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the E-gear priming. Yes.
Is it going to go in neutral?
Have we got neutral? Have we got neutral? No. No neutral. So the transmission control unit must now be awake, because when we open the door, the E-gear pump primes by itself, but it can't be building up enough pressure because we still can't get it out of first gear, which is stopping us from starting the car. Gearbox malfunction. And now that that control unit is awake, it's sending a signal to the dashboard telling me I've got a gearbox malfunction. So now, if I scan the transmission for faults, it might actually show me what's wrong with it. Whereas before, it never did because the control unit wasn't awake. Transmission, we've got 5 faults. What are they? Hydraulic pressure unit loss. TCM power relay sense circuit lower limit not reached. Now I was just going to clear these fault codes first and see which one comes back. And the one I can't clear is hydraulic pressure unit, loss of pressure, implausible signal. So our suspicions were right. The pump's working, but it's not building up enough pressure. I then could go on to live data on my diagnostic tool to see actually how much pressure the hydraulic system actually has. Remember, we need 50 bar. Oh yeah, it is increasing. 1.2. Stuck on 1.28 bar. No, and then it's dropping down now. But we couldn't get the pressure to go past 1.2 bar. Found something else. Okay, so we've got live data. 0.64 bar. And then, do you know when we get the pump going?
Yeah.
We can get it to go to 1.28 bar. It won't go any further. As soon as we let off the power, it drops straight back down.
Right, okay. Right, so have you got the car on the ramp?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, if you pull the centre section out of the car,
Yeah.
the prop is,
Yeah.
obviously you've got engine, then gearbox, and on the end of the gearbox, you'll see next to the prop is the
full valve system kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
pump and all the system. You want to see if there's any apparent fluid loss.
So we've got power to the battery now, but we still got no start. The car's stuck in gear, and that's the reason why the car won't start by itself, because it's stuck in gear. It needs to be in neutral to start, but we can't move the car out of neutral. To move it out of neutral, you need hydraulic pressure in the gear changing system. You need 55 bar, which is an insane amount of pressure. We can get 1.28 bar, then it drops down. That's by manually putting the thing on. And so we need to find why we're losing pressure. Has it got no fluid in it to build up pressure, or is something broken underneath? So we're going to go and have a look underneath the car now to see if something is broken. Last time we had the car in the air, there wasn't anything I could say that was obvious that stood out that was broken. But now we know we're looking for a leak, and so from the gearbox, maybe we can find something. We've got to remove these panels here and take a look. Well, there's a bit of wet. Yeah. Oh, there's a mouse bin in it. Oh, it looks like a little mousy thing. But yeah, there was a bit of wet. Oh, there is a bit of wet. Oh, here. Yeah, this is green fluid, which is what's used in the transmission hydraulics. Okay, so it says the gearbox fluid is separate to the hydraulic fluid, which is used to change the gears. We were just going to unplug one of the sensors just to see if it was leaking out of there, but I can't say it looked like it was leaking from the sensor. Oh, I can see a seal here. Can you see that green seal? It's like a bit wet. Yeah, it don't look like it's in. It looks like this solenoid, which shifts the gears, has almost bent out because you can see the oil seal poking out of it. Maybe that's where we've lost the fluid from. Oh, look. Oh, there you go. That's done it. That's hit. That's hit that, broken, hit into that, leaked the gearbox oil out. Gearbox oil, no shifter oil. So because of no shifter oil, it doesn't turn into neutral, and because it turned into neutral, we don't stop. This has got to be it. Oh, I think we found it. It looks like this transmission mount, which is cracked, has been hit, and that has pushed this solenoid up, and you can see here it's sort of sitting on the wonk, which has pulled its seal out, and that is why we've lost the hydraulic fluid for the shifter mechanism.
Oh dear.
Now, let's remove this solenoid and hope there's no damage to it. We know where it sits onto the shifter mechanism is slightly bent, but we're hoping we can bend that back straight. The actual internals of it looks alright. Time to get bending. And now, that's looking pretty good. We just hope it works. Because Lamborghini don't sell these solenoids separately. You have to buy the full shifter mechanism, which is £13,170 plus VAT. I won't be paying that. Now the seal goes in place, and then the solenoid afterwards. Then we can tighten it back up into the mechanism. Oh. After that, I'm loosening the bolt, which is covering the hole where we're going to put the fluid back in. This has sort of a one-way valve in it, which allows you to push fluid in, that should stop it from coming back out. Then, another bolt here, where the fluid will come out once we've put enough fluid in.
CHF, central hydraulic fluid.
So we pump this fluid into the filler hole until it starts coming out the other hole, which would tell us when it's full. Hopefully that makes sense. And we found the reason why it was pretty hard to find any leaks, because this didn't even take a litre of fluid before it was actually full.
Oh, it's coming out that hole now, yeah.
Now that the fluid is coming out of the other hole, we know it's full, so we can start putting back in all of the plugs. And once they're all back in, the solenoid looks like it's holding fluid at the minute, but it's not holding any pressure yet. That's all good. Now to test see whether it works. Right. Relay for that pump, and it should start making the noise and then stop on its own. If it don't, we're gonna have to manually do it again. In goes the relay, but no noise yet. Let me press the door latch. Then we got the noise. Can you hear it? Hear it? Wait for it. Yes!
Yeah,
It stopped, it stopped, it stopped.
Come on, it's gonna go. Come on, car.
Come on. Now let's see if it will go into neutral.
Neutral!
Neutral, yes! We got neutral! So let's see if I can change any gear. Oh, it's gone into first again. Oh, let's come out. Oh, it's jumping in and out of first. Oh, it's going neutral, reverse, park. It's doing everything.
No, it's in second.
Yeah, I'm not sure that solenoid works properly. Or is it calibrating?
Oh yeah, you can hear it. That's the.
It's just shifted every
Can you hear
gear.
it under the?
But will this car start?
Yeah!
It started! I can't believe it! It's running! Come on! How do we start? Top of that, it was letting me select first gear. Got it started around Lamborghini! And underneath, no leaks. The solenoid seems to have worked. No leaking. Get in. Now, it doesn't run great because we got no Lambda sensors. But we're gonna see if we can, we'll see one if it starts up again, and two, whether that spontaneous combustion, whatever, what is that thing called? Supercombobulator. The supercapacitor comes back to life once we connect that back up. Will it restart again?
Every time.
Every time. So now we're going to see if that supercapacitor is actually sprung to life. So we're putting that back to how it should be to see if it will start. Then we know all of the starting system is all good. We're seeing if it will start now with it connected as OEM, supercapacitor capacitated and connected, mouldy steering wheel activated. Everything's working. Let's get fixing. That is one worry over with. Now let's get cleaning that mouldy interior. I've removed the roof panels so it's a little easier to access and see what's going on inside. And then we're going to start attacking this steering wheel. And it's actually cleaned up all right. I literally thought I might have to buy a new wheel. But with a small going over, the interior almost looks brand new again. As for the exterior, well, that's a different story. Let's get off all the damaged panels and work out what we need to order and if there's any hidden damage underneath it all. Off comes the bonnet, and we can see the damaged frame at the front. Luckily, all of this just bolts off and is replaceable. Now we can take a look what's going on behind this wing. But first we've got to get off the wheel.
Oh, that's light.
Once we've got the wheel off, I can access all the bolts to take this wing off. And actually, inside the wheel well doesn't look too bad at all. And best of all, the carbon tub is in good nick. It's just this part of the frame here, which is definitely folded. But luckily it unbolts from the chassis at the front. So again, it is replaceable.
Good news over here. Well, kind of good news. Good news, no suspension damage. Really dirty though. This whole car needs a clean and ice blast, which we will do. But damage to this top leg here. Now, let's go over to the worst part of the damage, which was at the back left. Got to get that wheel off, check the suspension, and I'm hoping we might actually be able to drive this today. Let's go.
Moving to the back. For some reason, this wheel sits really deep inside the arch, and we need to find out why. And once we got the wheel off, we could see exactly why.
Oh, that the banana armor. Oh no!
What?
Oh.
No, it's not the chassis, is it?
Yeah.
You're joking, where?
Perished a hole in the chassis leg.
Oh no.
Oh, we need Bob.
Does that mean we have to take the engine out?
Nah, because it's not. It's only pierced a hole in it. It's just put a hole in it there, look.
So, looks like some hidden chassis damage, but it could be worse. This thing looks repairable, but to get a better look at it, we've got to remove all this suspension and work out what we need to replace.
Right. Look at that. But look at that, it looks like some Batman's goggles. Hopefully Bob can cut out and re-weld back in. And look at it's nothing's actually mounted to that bit where it's broken, so it's not actually doing that much of a job, to be fair. This is supposed to be straight.
And it also looks like the hot oil, which had come out the oil cooler, has burnt a few wires at the back, which are for this rear wheel steering module. But if we're going to repair this chassis damage, we've got to remove all of this, so we can get Bob from the machine shop the perfect access to weld it back up. So off comes the lower wishbone, along with the wheel hub, and we're going to hang the brake caliper out of the way, so we don't have to re-bleed the brakes. And now that it's off, let's see what's actually damaged on it.
I think it bent the bolt. To be fair, actually, that don't even look that bad. It was this bit that's bent, but this is £5,000.
£5 grand for that?
£5 grand for
and
this.
And there's one each side?
Yeah, one each side. But it don't actually look that bad. Oh, this is melted, isn't it? I don't know. I wonder whether that's okay.
I thought this rear wheel steer module was going to be completely broken, but we might actually get away with it. And I said it was £5 grand earlier, but that was for a second-hand one. For one of these from Lamborghini, it's over £11,000. So I'm going to try my luck.
But this one is one we definitely needed. But these weren't that expensive. This was £130. But that's one we couldn't really get away with that.
With all that suspension off, we've now got to start removing this rear quarter, which again is just bolted on. With this quarter out, it will give us even better access to that damaged chassis. And not to mention, the quarter will probably need replacing anyway. Right, this is it. We're fully clear, rear quarter's off. Now we can repair this, and once we repair this, well, when I say we, Bob's going to do it. Once this is repaired, we can actually start building this all back up again. I'm just going to leave it to Bob now. Bye. So this damage just happened in an area which is kind of a weird welded in part from Lamborghini. And Bob's just going to cut out that part and replicate it by making one himself. Now, I'm sure you've seen Bob in plenty of the previous videos, and he's from the machine shop, which teaches people how to weld and shows you guys all his repairs on his YouTube channel.
This has had a bit of heat on there, and we've got a fault on the motor. So Matthew has asked me very kindly, like he always does, to do some tests.
And whilst my dad does that, Bob's cleaning up the area where he's about to weld his new piece. He's using a bit of paper here to sort of press down on the existing part to make a marking and almost like a stencil so he can overlay it onto the aluminium that he's brought. He can then mark out on this aluminium where he needs to cut to make his new part. To me, it looks really inaccurate, but when I seen him cut this piece out, it was almost perfect. Maybe I need to take some lessons from Bob at the machine shop. My dad was still cracking away at the repair on that rear wheel steer motor, whilst I put the VIN number in of the SVJ into Car Vertical, where I could see the full report and history of the car.
Well, all I found is, Matthew, is that this grey wire here is obviously broken.
You couldn't have found that on Car Vertical.
Do you know what you could have found though?
All information on the vehicle that I was buying.
Like the full timeline, every time a registration plate's been changed, every time an ownership's been changed, whether the mileage has gone up, down, left or right, or there's been any outstanding finance on that car.
And also, you can find out if it's been categorised.
The SVJ has got one. Category S for supercar.
I don't really think that it stands for that. But,
No, that S stands for structural damage. But luckily for me, Bob is repairing that structural damage for me now. Another good thing Car Vertical does is if your car was involved in an accident, then sometimes it even shows you the photos of when the car was auctioned off at the car crash auction site, which is pretty handy to see. And now, Bob's just finished up the welding. Yeah, boy! And as a thank you, please go over to the Machine Shop's YouTube channel and subscribe to them. It looks actually better than new. And that is done without a dent. All we've got to do now is build it all back up, and we might be able to drive this car for the first time, and then we can go through all the financials of how much this costs and what it's going to cost to rebuild. But in the meantime, if you want to check your car out, you can do with the link in the description box below, and with discount code MATT, you're going to save yourself a nice bit of discount on that Car Vertical check. Now, let's start putting back on all of the suspension. Now, I think a lot of this suspension is all good to just go back on. And that one bent arm seems to have taken the brunt of the hit, which is what I've just replaced there. My dad's fixed this. We're about to find out whether it works or not when we plug it in. But it looks a bit dirty, but after this, it's going to go to the ice blasters, hence why we haven't cleaned up everything else, but the ice blasters are going to blast it. So all of this stuff, including the rear wheel steer, is going back on. We've literally only replaced one arm. Now 9 times out of 10, there probably will be something else which is bent and needs replacing. But to the eye at the minute, it looks alright. So I'm going to take the chance because a lot of these suspension arms are quite expensive, and then when the car goes to wheel alignment, we'll truly get to see whether anything is bent or broken. And good news for me, the rear carbon brake disc is all in one piece. That doesn't need replacing either. And believe me, we've thoroughly checked it this time. So, here's the handbrake caliper, but the part we're missing which is broken is that, and that goes onto the back of the caliper there, and when the motor spins, it pushes these calipers together and clamps onto the disc. From Lamborghini, if you try and buy this separately, good luck to you, because they'll try and sell you all of that. But just that separately off a Volkswagen Passat for £19.95, but it hasn't turned up. But luckily what I can do is put this on, and then I can put the motor on when it comes. But for now, we won't have a handbrake, at least on this side anyway. But it don't matter, we're only trying to drive it out the window door. Right, this is my Flintstones wheel. It's the only form of wheel. And we're going to do first drive, guys, first drive. if this does a first drive, we've got further than the Revuelto in episode 1. That's a subscribe, isn't it? That's way worth a subscribe.
Are you subscribed?
I think so. Do you have to pay?
It's free. And you get to watch cars like this be rebuilt for your entertainment only for free. But what you could get, if you really wanted to as well, to support the channel that you like watching every single week, is some merchandise. Whoa! Unfortunately, not free. But there is a link in the description box.
Right, are we ready to drive this car out the window?
I'm just waiting.
Now, to see if the SVJ's gearbox actually works. I can't believe it, but already we're going for a first drive. First drive of the SVJ. Can't believe I'm saying that. SVJ. This is a full test now to see if the gearbox actually works, whether it turns the wheels, and if it actually does this, we've progressed way more than the Revuelto. Let's see if it's gonna go. Oh, it feels proper special when you're sitting here compared to the Revuelto. Like this feels like I'm sitting in an F-16 jet. Look, so it's like clear jets. Whoosh. Jets. Priming. Clear. Let's go. It was driving. What a machine! A proper Lamborghini. That's right! Yes! She's out! It had managed the first drive, start up, first drive, and we're out. Look at her. I think she needs a name. Suzanne the SVJ. I like it. I think she was Suzanne. Suzanne. Okay. Suzanne. Suzanne the SVJ is out here. Looks sick, doesn't it? Now I need to give you guys a price breakdown of exactly what was spent on this, and hopefully I think we'll be in the clear with this car. To the whiteboard. Suzanne the SVJ cost me a bargain price, I think, of £230,000. £5 more than I sold the Revuelto for. And I think that's £5 more well spent. Especially as there's only 2 SVJ Roadsters for sale in the UK. And the cheapest one is £520,000. And one thing's for sure, we're not gonna have to buy a battery for Suzanne. Let's see if we can get Suzanne back on the road. I think we can. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.
It's just in. Jammy Dodgers. The real flavour is raspberry. No way. You just think that it's strawberry.
Like a drug that I just can't deny.